Battle Horse Knives sent me this knife to test out and do a little bit of a review on. It's a Woodsman Pro. I got it. They asked me what I wanted, the specs. I got natural canvas micarta, no polish on it, so it's a little bit grippy. It's 5/32, so I had them take the grind up a little bit higher than normal. And I want to do a Splitwood fire because that's what I do when I get a knife. It's a good test of it. See how I like it. So this is seasoned maple. Nice and dry on the inside. So I like to quarter the wood up when I'm batoning, when I'm splitting down wrist size pieces. Do it into quarters, and then once again. I'm not going to take it easy on this knife by any means, but I'm not going to do anything that I wouldn't do normally to my knives. Just a really real world test for it, for me at least. Obviously you see it's a knife, it's doing what it's supposed to do. See if we can get some curls off of it. Oh, it's cutting through this maple like butter. Not too shabby. Cut those off and I'll collect them. Put them in my pile. Try and get a fire going. I realistically do split wood this way, so I want to see how it works with this one. Sometimes when the pieces of wood are too small to baton or they break out, you can do it this way. Just stab the tip into it and it works good. What I do like about this knife is it has a pretty pronounced guard right here that protects your hand from sliding down. I'm also putting my thumb on the top, but that guard is extremely pronounced, more so than what I'm used to in my knives. So it's a little bit of a help there. I got a Kydex sheath with it. They asked me if I wanted a Kydex or a leather. It's actually got both. It's got Kydex and leather on it. Pretty cool sheath. Something new, something different. This is not my normal style knife. So look at the size difference, right? The depth of the wood against the knife. Goes up a quarter of the way up the blade. Let's see if we can pound her through safely. Yep, no bad, no problem, not too bad. It's got some heft to it. Chopping's not a big deal through seasoned maple. So my tinder is just going to be the shavings, the wood shavings I made. I'm just going to find appearance by Scout. Just going to find a nice set of curls, really tight ones that I got, and I'm going to focus on striking the fire steel into those and then adding the rest of the curls after. Maybe I'll move that so you can see. Go. So the spine is nice and sharp, 90-degree spine. And there's your split wood. So it did all right for that. I did that Splitwood fire in, I don't know, 10 or 20 minutes. No big deal. Like I said, it was maple. And yeah, it worked. It's a knife. It cuts things, right? So here she is, a little bit better close-up picture of her. Like I said, natural micarta, not bead blasted, left the grip on. I wanted this to be like a beater, workhorse kind of knife, which it is. Works good. See, the grind is up really high on the Scandi. That's because it's a 5/32, and normally I like my Scandis 1/8, but this was my option. So he, Bear at Battle Horse Knives said he'd take the edge up higher, and it seems to work. It slices pretty good. I don't see any nicks or dings in the blade in the edge, and I was pounding it through that maple pretty good. So feels all right. Feels good in the hand. It's the blade, the guard stops it there really well, and then you have all this room at the back. I have small little girly hands, but it's a pretty decent sized handle, and if you choke up right at the back, the chopping action's pretty good because it's hefty. It's got some weight to it. I don't know. It's a good knife. This is definitely not a review or anything. This is me just using it for really the first time to build a fire. Maybe I'll carve a bow drill set out of it later and make some notches in green wood and stuff and see how it goes. But I'm sure it'll work fine. It's got a nice thin edge, so I like it. Here's it in its sheath. My first impression of the sheath was that it was way too big, but when it's on my hip, it doesn't really feel too big at all. It kind of just rides nice. It's got a leather belt loop. I asked for a fire steel loop in it. I don't have a fire steel that fits that right now, so we're gonna wait and see. But it's got this this lock that you slide up. If I can do it. So right there, this lock slides up and makes it harder. It kind of locks the knife in place. If you slide it down, it comes out easy. And I have mosquitoes inside my ear hole. That's lovely. So down, slide that thing up, and then it can still come out, but it's harder. So it kind of locks it in. I kind of like the sheath setup. I'm not a Kydex guy. I don't have any other Kydex sheaths. That's why I asked for Kydex on this one. Works good. So I wanted to see how much that I could do to this knife, right? Just in the little time I'm out here. So I think this is a good test. Got a size of wood that big on the knife, so 2 inches across, maybe 1.5 inches across. Now let's see if we can stab and split this wood that big a piece with this knife. I'm doing this up against a tree because it's steady. It's the steadiest thing I have here. There you have it. Not too shabby. You taking that stick, Scout? Okay, thanks for that. Pretty good. All right, let's check the edge retention. Yeah, that's pretty damn sharp still. Yep. Alright guys, I gotta get out of here. You can see all those mosquitoes on Scout and they're just eating him alive as well as me. My first impressions on the knife are that it's good. It's a good knife, it's solid. I don't really have any worries about it, so I'm gonna keep using it for a little while. I'll probably make another video on it or something like that, but this is just me in the woods listening to planes in the background. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.